Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hello.
Also joining us, the Lord of Pennies. Say hello, Satsu 2 cents.
Good evening.
And I am your host, the Ranting Monkey, your Lord of Pain.
I feel like we should have some violin music like Masterpiece Theater leading us in when you do it like this.
Thank you. That's what I was going for. How are you guys doing tonight?
Man, I got a story, but I'll wait until it's my turn.
Satsu, how you doing tonight?
Pretty damn good. Nothing bad happened. Squishy brought me that new burger that apparently they just got, the monster or whatever, and that thing is fucking delicious. But anyway, we'll
Better
get on
than
that
the
later.
last new thing she brought you?
Dude, that last thing was just heinous. And I think they really knew they fucked up because this one is actually fucking good. So.
And Scribe, how are you?
Oh man, can I tell a story?
Absolutely.
So, as viewers may know, I've been having internet problems in the recent past, but most of those seem to have been addressed after I upgraded my router and got Comcast to upgrade my service. Mm-hmm. Well, when I upgraded my service, I was told that for a 12-month special, my price would be about $10 less than what I was currently paying if I upgraded with this special for 12 months. And I was like, okay. And they said, it comes with TV. And I was like, well, I don't want the TV. I just want the internet. So, like, oh, okay, well, you just have to do this. So I agreed to the thing. I get my bill today. It's $20 more than they told me it would be. And I look on there and lo and behold, they gave me the TV. And guess what comes along with getting their TV service? A broadcast TV fee of $17.98.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Now, that's on top of what they charge you for the television, which is about $10. So I'm paying $30 for something I will not and cannot use. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So I call it, this is amazing. Now, I'll preface this by saying the customer service ended up being ridiculously good, okay? But the way that the guy I got phrased his opening statement sounded horrific. So I call up and he says, hey, what's, I won't use his name or anything, but what can I do to help you? And I said, okay. So I upgraded my service about a month ago. They said it would be X. It's now Y. And that's not what I agreed to along with the TV thing. And he says, well, you know what? I really hate it when customers call with problems.
Oh my God.
Now what he meant, he phrased it horrifically. He meant to say something to the effect of, it bothers me when customers call us with issues like this because we're here to give you good service or something. Something like that.
This kind of shit shouldn't happen.
Right, yeah. Exactly. But the way it came out of his mouth, that was like, well, I don't like calling either about these problems.
Nice.
And he was like, no, man. What I mean, I got your back. He recovered, but that opening statement I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, I hope they're recording this. This is the worst thing. This is like Comcast of like the stereotype worst customer service ever. But he explained himself. He just phrased it very poorly. Everything turned out fine. He fixed the bill. Everything got reduced down. I got a credit on my account, etc. So everything's cool now. But man, it opened up bad.
Wow.
So that's my story for what happened 5 minutes before the stream. I'll talk about other stuff later, but that's my day to this moment.
All righty.
How are you, Monkey?
I'm okay. I took a long nap right before this. I need to address this. A lot of people have been asking. Yes, guys, I took down my stream from earlier. There was just a brief moment where something flashed on the screen when I was switching between pictures that should not be there. So yeah, it is down. I may or may not go through and download it, take that out and fix it. But for now, it's down. And it was me. YouTube didn't do it. Nobody's coming after me for, bad things I said. And it wasn't that I said something bad, because I don't give a fuck about what I say on those streams. I was switching between pictures that I show up there, like sometimes I show different tweets that we're talking about or stories we're talking about or people we're talking about. And yeah, just there was a brief moment where I had something up on one of the other screens that flashed. So
yeah, monkeys midget porn.
If it was midget porn, I'd leave it up there because that'd be funny. But yeah, so everybody is asking about that. YouTube didn't do that. It was me.
All right.
That's all I have until we get into the news, except Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button, guys. Seriously, please hit that like button. It helps us out. The earlier you do it, the better the engagement score happens to be, and the better we do in the algorithm. So if you like us, please hit that like button. And of course, share our stuff. Share it far, share it wide, and help the people in your life have a better day by sharing us with them. Scribbles.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Before we get to you, Miliag, I think is how you say that, has a birthday.
Question mark.
Miliag.
Blag.
So, Satsu, they've started dedicating their own birthdays to torturing you. Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that, man?
I feel loved.
Good, because this one is as much dedicated to you as it is to our birthday boy here, Miliag.
Blag.
Miliag, you out there? Are you listening? I don't think I've ever established if you're a man or a woman. Are you a woman?
The
How
question
hard
mark
is
at this point.
ambiguous.
it really doesn't. This one's for you, and a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, look, it's Drunkle.
Happy birthday, dear Miliag.
Question mark.
Happy birthday again.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you had a good one. He says he's male, so I don't care how tall you are. But with that, Scribbles, I'm guessing we have news today because I saw a bunch of it.
Speaking of mail.
Mail? I feel like we should have a Pee Wee Herman word of the day kind of thing.
Well, we do. It's the secret word from yesterday.
Yeah, but I meant for this because it.
Oh.
The perfect accidental segue.
Well, I don't know. What should the secret word be that we scream every time it's said?
We should scream Drunkle because he's in the chat. How you doing, Drunkle? Hope you're well, my friend.
Well, let's see. If you hadn't noticed or been living under a rock today, oh, and by the way, we all live under a rock. It's called the moon.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. There was some stuff that happened with the mail today. Kind of.
Some stuff?
Some stuff.
Stuff
like
things.
Super stuff.
No, not things.
So bombs were sent to the Clintons, the Obamas. Sorry, I always think of Obama in the singular because it's just like Obama, the Obamas, and CNN, amongst others, in the last 24 to 48 hours. So here's the current breakdown of who or what entities have been sent bombs. Barack Obama, Maxine Waters, Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Eric Holder, Hillary Clinton, George Soros, and John Brennan. And I believe the John Brennan one was addressed basically to the building where CNN's at.
Yeah, that's the one that went to CNN. It was addressed to him,
Authorities have intercepted bombs intended for former President Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, and several other top political figures were targeted in what authorities are investigating as a connected series of incidents. Also, CNN's New York bureau in the Time Warner Center was evacuated after a package containing a bomb addressed to former CIA Director John Brennan was discovered. Let's see. There's a whole bunch of little like updates and bits and pieces to this. So I'm going to go down the list and read a few of the latest ones. Excuse me. Let's see. One of the updates is the packages were mailed in manila envelopes with 6 forever stamps. The packages sent today were mailed in manila envelopes, had 6 forever stamps, and labeled with the Florida return address of Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the FBI said in a statement. What else? The NYPD is reviewing footage from multiple locations, according to a law enforcement official. This footage is being examined by both the NYPD Detectives Bureau as well as the Joint Terrorism Task Force, which is a task force comprised of FBI and NYPD. Okay.
Real quick, thank you, Terry Diamandis. I hope the plot twist is that the bomb sent to all of these people is a DVD of the 2016 Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah, not quite. But I'll talk about some of the reaction later. Let's see. The device delivered to CNN is currently at Rodman's Neck. I'm assuming they don't mean Dennis Rodman, in the Bronx, and is still being tested. Once authorities are finished with the device, it will be sent to Quantico, where further testing will be done on the materials to determine what they are. Additionally, officials will determine how the device would function and who could have put it together. The device delivered to CNN was capable of detonating, but it was unclear what kind of damage it would have done. It should also be noted that none of these devices, so far as I know thus far, actually went off.
No,
they were all intercepted before anything could happen, and even those that were opened or whatever, like at George Soros's house or whatever, none of them have gone off, which is good. Let's see. The New York governor doubles security. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo announced he is doubling security at key areas across the New York City metro area. Quote, out of an abundance of caution, someone's using a leaf blower at this time of night?
It's a bomb.
What the fuck? Okay, outside, somebody's leaf blowing, and I don't know why. Anyway, sorry, guys. Out of an abundance of caution, I'm deploying 100 additional National Guard soldiers and directing state law enforcement to double security at vital assets across New York. The infrastructure points include LaGuardia and John F. Kennedy airports in New York, mass transit systems, the Staten Island crossings, the George Washington, RFK, Verrazano Narrows, Bronx Whitestone, Throgs Neck, Henry Hudson, Marine Parkway, Gil Hodges Memorial, Cross Bay Veterans Memorial, and Mario M. Cuomo Bridges. That's some... Frog's Neck sounds like a place in a fantasy novel.
Mm-hmm.
Frog's Neck.
Good for him for taking the precaution, but ain't none of them places getting hit. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The Lincoln, Holland, Hugh L. Carey, and Queens Midtown tunnels. Quote, New Yorkers have never succumbed to fear or intimidation, and today will be no different, Cuomo said. We are tough, we are resilient, and we will not allow terrorist thugs to change the way we lead our lives. We will not let terrorism win, not today, not ever. That kind of reminds me, you ever see the movie The Siege with Denzel Washington and the Die Hard guy who suddenly I can't remember his name.
The Die Hard guy? Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis, yeah, Bruce Willis. It's called The Siege. It came out before 9/11. It was about terrorists attacking New York. And I think Denzel Washington was either playing the mayor or some other official or whatever. And he gives this speech after a couple of the attacks. And he says something to the effect of like, these guys won't take us down. We're New York. We can take it. And that kind of reminds me of that speech right here. Let's see. FBI says more packages could have been mailed to other locations. The FBI is warning the public to remain vigilant after bombs and suspicious packages were intercepted. Quote, it is possible that additional packages were mailed to other locations, the FBI said. Do not touch, move, or handle any suspicious or unknown packages. The FBI is asking for help with information on the bombs and suspicious packages. Anyone with information about the bombs and packages is urged to call the FBI at 800-CALL-FBI or visit tips.fbi.gov. If you observe any suspicious activity that requires an immediate response, please call 911 or contact your local law enforcement. Then it goes into a lot of extra little bits about specific targets or people that received the packages. The FBI is going to analyze all the bombs and the materials and the evidence and such. And so there's that part of the story. I think the other part of the story, which is probably saved for internet fucketry time, is the reaction to this online today, because it's nuts.
We'll get to that, yeah. But it is interesting to note that they came out today and told us the George Soros bomb was actually delivered by hand. That one did not get mailed. All of the ones today were. So that's interesting, because I think that narrows the search, guys.
Well, I would also think that, was it delivered to his house? Was that how it worked?
Yeah, I believe so. It was delivered to his house.
You think George Soros's house has cameras on it?
You would think. I think George Soros did
it. Jesus. Well, given some of the rhetoric I've seen online today, maybe you're right or not. Anyway,
I have two theories. Either it's some crazed militia kind of dude,
yeah,
or it is a hardcore Bernie supporter. And I based that second one on the targets, as well as the return address. Yeah,
that is an interesting theory, but again, just a theory, guys. A terrorism theory.
It is just a theory. It is my theory. I haven't heard it anywhere else.
Yeah.
RJ asked, "Can bombers get the death penalty for doing this? Not if they didn't go off."
Unless someone is actually hurt and/or killed, the death penalty is probably not on the table. So, jail, life in prison for massive, multiple counts of terroristic activities and transmitting an explosive device through the mail, etc. Yeah, you're not getting out of jail ever, but death penalty might not be.
I do want to point out too, because early stories told us there was one sent to the White House. They corrected that pretty quickly, but in case that's the last you heard, there was not one sent to the White House.
There's also a report there was one sent to Governor Cuomo in New York, but that also turned out to be untrue. So there's a lot of, if anybody's been paying attention to Twitter today, there was a lot of just everybody running to report the latest and greatest rumor about what was going on, and some of them ended up being incorrect, let's say, and people rushing to try to reach a conclusion or something.
I've been thinking like the police or authorities that are like taking care of this shit are just like, oh, well, since you motherfuckers know everything that happened, then why don't you handle it? Since we're clearly not needed.
Well, we'll get to that at internet time, because man, there were some beauties today on the jump to conclusions front. But all right, anything else to talk about that, or else should we move on?
No, we can move on. I mean, that was the big news today, other than the fact that yes, #MAGABomber is trending.
Yeah.
And again, we'll get more to that later, but it's a guys. I just want to throw this out there. That's not how you deal with political opponents. It's really not. I don't care if it is a crazed Bernie supporter or it's some dude living in a bunker in Idaho. That's not how you deal with them. It's just not.
Yeah. If it needs to be said, don't do that.
Yeah.
Breaking news, law enforcement official. Bombs sent to prominent Democrats and CNN were packed with shards of glass. This comes from the AP. It's a breaking news tidbit. May or may not be accurate. I'm gonna hedge everything that comes out like immediately that hasn't been out all day as might be corrected later, because we've had a lot of these today. But that's the latest from the AP on it. You got a super chat, Monkey.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you. Snub, I find it interesting. Not a single one of them exploded right before midterms of very popular people in conservative hate circles. Nothing suspicious. That's one of the reasons I lean more towards the Bernie supporter rather than the other one, because those bunker dwelling conservatives tend to make bombs pretty well. But I'm glad none of them went off.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
I don't know what happened either. But this definitely reeks of people have been saying that we're violent crazies because we're violent crazies. So we need to do something to get the attention off of us being violent crazies by fabricating some violent crazy shit from the other side. Now, like I said, I don't know, and nobody knows, but this is what it smells like. But it is what it is.
Well, let's save that for internet fucketry time.
Yeah, it's so easy to try to just keep going. But yes, let's move on, because there's other news.
In other news, the New York Times reports that China and Russia are listening to Trump's cell phone calls. President Donald Trump continues to make calls via cell phone despite intelligence that China and Russia listen in, the New York Times reported Wednesday. The Times report, citing current and former officials, said Chinese spies have listened to Trump's iPhone calls and that the president's aides had told him Russian spies were listening regularly. Trump's cell phone use has been noted throughout his tenure, and security experts have raised concerns in the past. CNN noted in April that after John Kelly became chief of staff, Trump made more calls through the White House switchboard, but by the time of the April report, the president had begun to make more calls through his cell. The New York Times report said the officials raising an alarm about Trump's refusal to stop making unsecured calls were doing so out of frustration. Those officials told the Times that China was seeking to use its findings on Trump to help the country in its trade dispute with the U.S., and that the Chinese had noted Trump's conversations with Stephen Schwarzman, head of the Blackstone Group, and Steve Wynn, a Las Vegas figure who established major investments in Macau, a gambling hub in China. That entire thing was one sentence. I broke it up for my own sanity, but that was all one sentence. Wynn stepped down as finance chair for the Republican National Committee last January following allegations of sexual misconduct, which he denied. Now, if somebody came to me as I was the president, they said, hey, China and Russia are listening to your phone calls, I'd be like, great, thanks. And then I'd get on the phone and I'd say, yeah, you know what? I like tacos. I really like tacos. Also, I think I'm going to invade Milwaukee. I just go completely nuts and just whatever, guys. I just use my phone as an entertainment device to just sort of throw the Russians and the Chinese off the trail. That's what I would do.
I'd be saying all kinds of not true shit.
Yeah. It's
the bombers are moving in on Moscow.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to bomb Moscow. It goes off in 5 seconds. And just play the Reagan bit over and over again. Just because if you guys don't know, there was at one time Ronald Reagan, he was joking and he didn't know the mic was live, and he was doing a radio interview or something, and he leans forward and says, my fellow Americans, we begin bombing Russia in 5 minutes. It was just anyway.
Oh my God.
China and Russia are spying on Trump's cell phone. So says the New York Times. Now, if Trump is giving away state secrets on his cell phone when he knows that he might be listened in on, that's bad. But also I want to know, how is it that the president's phone can be tapped by anybody with as much as we've spent as a country on intelligence security and data encryption and everything else?
I just want to know how they know it's his phone.
Yeah. Obviously, they can't tell us that because it would reveal, methods and sources and such. But, of all the devices on the planet, you would think the president of the United States phone would be the most secure fucking thing around. What do I know?
We got to get Trump NordVPN.
Let's see. Off the beaten path. This is kind of an update to a story we talked about a few weeks ago, I guess. I don't know if you recall, but there's a story about a doctor and his girlfriend who were serial rapists. They would go out and drug people and rape them. And they got caught recently. But apparently, questions swirl about investigation of California couple accused of drugging and raping women. Questions are swirling about the pace of the investigation in the case of a California surgeon and his girlfriend who are accused of drugging and raping multiple women. Orange County District Attorney Tony Rackauckas? R-A-C-K-A-U-C-K-A-S. Rackauckas. Okay. That sounds like a ridiculous name. Anyway, has been leading the investigation. He said Dr. Grant Robichaux and his girlfriend Charissa Riley were using their, quote, good looks, charm, unquote, and drugs to lure women home to rape them while they were unconscious or semi-conscious. The district attorney said there could be hundreds of victims because of the large amount of electronic data collected, including videos and photos. Robichaux and Riley have pleaded not guilty and firmly denied all allegations. They are both currently out on $1 million bail. They are out on $1 million bail? Wow. Okay. Quote, it has been our position from day one that all sex with named victims and unnamed victims, it is Grant and Charissa's absolute position that no non-consensual sex ever took place. Defense attorney Philip Cohen says, a not guilty plea is a denial of all allegations. The couple next appears in court for preliminary hearing on January 18th. Now the DA's political rival is asking why it took him so long to file charges and make an arrest, 2 years after the couple's accusers filed police reports and 8 months after a search warrant for the couple's home was signed. One of the reasons for the delay in arresting the couple was made clear in the search warrant documents. A detective says the victims stopped cooperating with police. After the search warrant was eventually signed and executed, the DA twice agreed to let Robichaux travel out of the country as long as he returned his passport to authorities afterward.
What?
Why? Here, you can go. You can
stupid.
You can leave the sovereign jurisdiction of the United States as long as you come back, and when you do, you give us back your passport. But this guy who can afford $1 million bail, by the way, in court, Cohen argued. Wait, in court, Cohen, argued. No, CNN, no.
Real quick, thank you, Dark Shade. Found it yet, Satsu? What are you looking for?
I have no idea. Apparently, he sent me a surprise, but I'm on like 5 or 6 different social medias, and I don't even know where to begin to look. So I have no idea. But
check your Streamlab.
Streamlabs?
Yeah.
Well, I checked it yesterday because I streamed. I know there was
Well, I mean, is it not active when you're not streaming?
No, it's active all the time. But
okay, we'll check it.
Prospero talking about the story says that's a Roman Polanski method of investigation.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. If he flew off and got in an apartment with Roman Polanski, that would, yeah. Anyway.
Oh god.
Let's see. Okay.
So real quick, Peter, if you're in the chat, I did see your donation from yesterday. I'm sorry I missed it, but he sent me a donation when I was playing Dead Space, and I didn't see it on Streamlabs because it's not connected to my Twitch. So,
well, read it now.
Thank you. Well, he just said this is for some beer, snacks, or games, whatever you want to use it for.
Well, thank you, Peter. That's very nice of you.
I appreciate it.
Okay, I think they're going to explain the whole, or try to explain the whole leave the country thing. In court, Cohen, argued that the DA must not have thought his client was that dangerous or a flight risk because the DA had allowed Robichaux to travel to Canada for a conference, and Robichaux and Riley were allowed to go on a trip together in Europe even after their home had been searched and large amounts of potential evidence had been seized. I wonder how many people they raped while they were off in their trip to Europe together.
Yeah, no shit.
Quote,
did you say the bail was $1 million?
Yeah. Quote, he went to Europe with permission from the DA's office and again returned, Cohen said, asking the judge to keep the bail at $1 million, not the $3 million the DA wanted it increased to. Quote, there is a history of non-flight and multiple opportunities to successfully flee. There is a history of... He went to Europe.
You know what? I have no problem with them keeping the bail at $1 million, but sacrifice the passport.
Yeah, no, he doesn't get to leave the country while he's under investigation for massive rapes, especially going together to Europe when they're partners in crime on this. Come on.
Where was this at?
This is Orange County, California.
Makes sense. All right.
Let's see. Let me hold on a sec. Okay, it goes on for a bit, talking more about some of the victim statements and their claims and some more about the legal stuff. But that's the part that just boggles my fucking mind. Like, oh, well, I mean, he came back, so it's okay.
It's all right.
It's all right. You know, he's out on $1 million bail. He's got money to burn. You know, you can just leave and come back with his girlfriend who, you know, are suspected of raping multiple women. You know, it's all right. Last story I've got is a brief one. Contrary to what I said last night, the Mega Millions was won by a single ticket.
$904 million lump sum.
I thought it was like 878.
The one I saw this morning, when they were first announcing it, said 904. So maybe they changed it.
I don't know. A small store off a 2-lane road in rural South Carolina. At a small store, lightning struck the excited mayor of Simpsonville, said Wednesday. Mayor Janice Curtis said she found out from a reporter that the winning ticket in the $1.537 billion Mega Millions drawing had been sold in her town. Of course, it would be some podunk town in the middle of nowhere. that's
Why
just
are
the
you
way
hitting
it
on a
works.
podunk town?
I'm just saying that seems to be the pattern for these things. You know, is it ever like some grandma living in a walk up in the middle of Brooklyn?
No, because God hates cities.
Yeah. Let's see. The person still hasn't come forward, and it would be smart of them not to, as much as possible.
It's only been a day. Give them time, guys.
Well, I know. I hope whoever it is immediately went out and found a lawyer and an accountant and started making a plan to redeem their ticket and keep it as much under the radar as possible about who they are, where they live, etc. Because honestly, that is a dangerous amount of money to possess for a single individual. All of a sudden,
Prospero says that store just made bank. Yeah, because stores get a cut of some, not a huge cut, not billions of dollars worth, but
$50,000. The store gets
Nice.
$50,000 for sending the ticket. That's pretty good return on selling the tickets. So there you go. Anyway, that's all the stories I pulled up. Obviously, the media was clogged, and rightfully so, with all of the mail bombings today and such. So
I forget who said it, but somebody on the stream last night said they hoped it was Lindsey Graham who won.
Breaking news: FBI confirms 2 additional suspicious packages, both addressed to Representative Maxine Waters.
Yeah, we talked about it. Well,
Wait,
didn't we
both
mention
of them
Maxine
for her?
Waters already?
Well, FBI confirms 2 suspicious and that they're similar to 5 others. So this is 2 on top of what we previously knew, I guess.
Well, who did I watch before? I might have been watching Philip DeFranco, who said
Well,
Maxine Waters was one of the people. Yeah.
Well, there might have been 3 addressed to her or something. But anyway, yeah, we mentioned it, but there were 2 additional ones, they said. And this was just posted a minute ago. So.
I know Maxine Waters, like, fuck, why didn't I think of this?
Whoa.
Shit. Guys, with that, we're going to move on to hashtag MSS News. If there's a story you'd like us to take a look at, hit us up on the Twitter machine at hashtag MSS News. We can't get to all of the stories, but that's because me and Satsu interrupt Scribe too much. Scribe?
Don't put me in your fucking shit.
You started doing it.
I was about to speak, and then I thought I better wait.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Let's see. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. If it will pull up. Now, how many times is it going to ask me to pay for a subscription? At least twice, I assume. Or maybe not, because the Miami Herald apparently does not want me to read this story because it's just sitting there thinking about it. Now, is it? I saw something move. Okay. Please don't play the video. Florida is home to people doing everyday things in the nude. Here's the latest. Oh, okay. Do I get a list? What are we doing here? Naked people aren't the most unusual thing you see in Florida. It's hot as blazes here, and things sometimes get a little crazy. We have naked gardeners, naked intruders, naked park goers, naked exercise enthusiasts. We even have naked commuters. You okay?
Satsu?
Hello? Sounds like somebody fell down on the floor.
Yeah, now he's not answering.
Satsu? Did Squishy bang you over the head to take you into the back room and fuck you out and you're brainless or something?
All right, I'm texting him.
Okay.
That's
Satsu.
weird.
You're texting him. You mean you got Satsu's phone number?
I do.
What? You don't have my phone number.
I know.
Oh. You want my digits, monkey?
I would, but don't give him out over the air.
No, I wasn't gonna. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not like someone who doesn't keep a hold on the things he doesn't want to have broadcast.
Oh, dude, that pissed me off so much when I saw it, and it went so fast. I'm hoping nobody else saw it, but
Yeah.
I did, which is the problem.
Well, while we wait for Satsu, we even have naked commuters. Back in August, motorists spotted a nude man on a bike on busy I-95 right here in Miami. The mad dasher got away before cops could flag down his two-wheeler. Now we have I guess this is the story as we get down here. Now we have a naked stroller. On Monday, filmmaker Billy Corbin. Billy Corbin? Well, Billy Corbin's the guy who did the Cocaine Cowboys documentary and a couple other things. And Cocaine Cowboys is a great, great documentary about the whole cocaine wars in Florida during the 70s and 80s. If you haven't seen Cocaine Cowboys, see it. I think it might be on Netflix, but either way, you should watch it. On Monday, filmmaker Billy Corben posted a video to his Instagram of a stout older fellow casually walking down Biscayne Boulevard in Miami in front of the Denny's restaurant. A female vagrant sitting outside the eatery looks shocked as the gray-haired man with a large belly walks by her in his birthday suit and picks up something off the ground, seemingly without a care in the world. A pumpkin, witch's hat, and owl are strategically placed where his naughty bits are in the video. Great.
Nice.
All right. Well, there you go. I guess that's a thing that happens in Florida.
Seriously, Satsu, you need to answer us.
Yeah, Satsu.
I'm starting to get worried.
Yeah, there's a big thumping and then nothing. You're still technically logged into the stream, although that could be just like a phantom login. We've seen those before.
Well, he's not answering his text, which isn't unusual for him. But
okay, well, we'll continue with our fingers crossed until
I was only joking when I said somebody needs to die on my stream for views.
This one comes from Pinkalo the Driver, or Pinkalo the Driving Ape Man, or just Eric the Driver. Let's see. In both Chilling Adventures of Sabrina and Charmed, the witches are woke.
What?
So Sabrina the Teenage Witch has a new TV series on Netflix.
Oh, okay. So based on the new ones, not the old ones. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
gotcha,
I don't know. I never watched the old ones, so
I've seen a few of them. My daughter liked them. So
the Dark Lord is not good for women. Which one? There's several Dark Lords out there, like Dark Lord of the Sith. Anyway, that's what Sabrina Spellman. Is that really her last name? Spellman. Okay. The 16-year-old lead character of the new Netflix series Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is learning fast. Sabrina is an orphan who's half witch, half mortal. She likes her mortal life, especially her boyfriend Harvey, but her witch aunts Hilda and Zelda want her to go full witch. That means surrendering to Satan, however, and that leads Sabrina. The character was born in a spin-off to the Archie's comics and has been updated for this TV series by Roberto Aguirre Sacasa, who also created Riverdale. Wait, Sabrina's being created by a man? That's sexist.
How dare they?
To all sorts of timely questions. Quote, why does the Dark Lord get to decide what I do with my body? Unquote. And quote, why can't I have both freedom and power? Unquote. If you're serving Satan, you kind of give shit up for power. That's kind of how it's worked classically.
Are you back?
Okay, I'm back.
What the hell happened?
Hey, what the fuck?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I put some ribs in the oven earlier, and they were in there for a while, and it just hit me that they were still in there on like 450, and I'm like, holy shit! So,
Motherfucker, you could have said something. I called you, I texted you, and nothing. Just we hear a thump, and you're gone.
sorry, I had to get my food.
This is why I say my friend is a dick.
What?
Oh, well,
Glad you're not dead, Satsu.
I'm glad you're
Sorry.
not dead.
yeah, we were going to have a murder mystery party without you or something.
Oh, sorry about that.
Let's see. So, in other words, the devil is the patriarchy.
Huh?
But you're making a deal
What?
with the
Hold on.
devil.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
it's a story about the shows Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, and Charmed, the new versions, and they're talking about how the messages in the shows are about, women
They're
empowering
woke.
themselves and such.
The
devil is the patriarchy. Like again, and I don't know how the iteration works in these stories, but generally speaking, if you get power from Satan, it's because you agreed to a deal, giving away your soul or some other recompense for it. So it's not like you're being taken away from or being oppressed without your consent. Moving on. There's nothing I love. This is the author talking, by the way. There's nothing I love more than a young feminist, period. I mean this sincerely. They're so passionate, so newly stung by injustice.
And so moronic. Oh, sorry.
They're so passionate, so newly stung by injustice. You mean they've decided they're a victim of injustice?
No, it's the Anita Sarkeesian thing. When you first become one, everything is sexist, everything's racist, everything's homophobic. Yeah, that's what she said.
So irked by the older broads like me who failed to deliver equity. Okay. In the 3 episodes I've seen, this series both serves as a rallying cry, women unite to fight, and holds a mirror to the current culture. Harvey is the ideal model of a respectful boyfriend. Sabrina's fight with Satan is rife with hashtag #MeToo overtones. Quote, a lot of people are facing their fears right now, fighting battles they know they're not going to win, she says. And when she says, quote, the Dark Lord's behavior is outrageous, unquote, we know exactly to whom she's referring.
Oh, kiss my ass.
The same consciousness raising is happening on Charmed, a reboot of the 1998 series. The old version was Aaron Spelling-style sass. This new iteration brought to us by the producers of Jane the Virgin and the Carrie Diaries. I've never heard of either of those things. Is the Carrie
Diaries is the prequel to Sex and the City. That I know that. I've never seen it.
I was hoping it was like Carrie, Stephen King's deal. That would be
no,
cool.
no. Much better than that.
Charmed establishes its hashtag #MeToo cred with its first sentences. Quote, this is not a witch hunt, says the mother of the 3 lead characters about a creepy professor at the university where she works. Quote, it's a reckoning. I want him out. Okay, I'm done. These are
essentially, they're basically saying these shows suck. They're going to fail eventually at some point. And then we'll have another article to write about how the patriarchy defeated these shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we jump ahead 2 or 3 years, sure. Guys, I want to announce a new fundraiser for Monkey Needs a New Heart. You can donate either through the tab there or the Streamlabs, because Satsu scared me to death. At my age, man, I expect my friends to die because I'm old.
God damn it, Satsu.
So
I thought I muted my mic.
No, you made a huge thump sound, and then there was no Satsu.
Oh.
All right. Well,
all we hear is and then quiet.
Moving on.
I can't move on. This has traumatized me.
Oh my God. Okay, you guys need to send Monkey money for PTSD treatment.
That's right. I got the
traumatized. Every time he hears a thump now, he's going to think somebody died. Every time a thump happens, an angel dies. This one comes from Ranting Monkey.
Oh, which one did I send in?
Report. Doctor borrows $300,000. Diagnoses loner with dementia.
I fucking laughed so hard at this one.
A report from Tennessee's health department says a doctor borrowed money from a patient, then diagnosed that patient with dementia when she asked him to repay it. Llewellyn Lee was quoted by the Tennessean as saying she was voluntarily retired. That she voluntarily retired her medical license because her case was unwinnable. She maintains the accusations are all lies. Government attorneys say the 79-year-old Lee borrowed $300,000 from EW when her medical clinic fell on hard times. Records show Lee later diagnosed EW with dementia without using any testing method or getting a second opinion. EW's financial company denied her access to her assets upon being notified about the diagnosis. A psychologist who assessed EW found, quote, no indication of dementia, unquote, but Lee stood by the dementia diagnosis. Lee says she has been repaying the debt in installments.
Isn't that great just to be able to declare that the person you borrowed a shit ton of money from has dementia and can't really remember?
Yeah.
I wish I'd thought of that.
Let's see. Oh, this one has to do with Daredevil, so why not? This comes from Frosted Glass. I will try to read ahead to make sure that there's no spoilers in this. Let's see. Daredevil's suffering makes a man trope is common, familiar, and bad for everyone.
No, fuck off. I don't even have to know what they're talking about in season 3 if that's what they're talking about to know that that's stupid, but keep going.
Okay, I'm only going to read the first paragraph because I'm concerned there might be things later on. So I'll just go for the first paragraph and see what their basic case is. Like the first 2 seasons of Netflix's Daredevil series, the 3rd season loves to show its hero getting beaten up. Yes, Okay. For the first few episodes, Daredevil is convalescing after the events in Netflix's Defenders crossover miniseries, and the camera lingers lovingly on his battered face and body, watching him stagger about the screen in an ecstasy of infirmity and pain. He wasn't happy about it, but that's not a spoiler.
That's not what they're suggesting. They're suggesting that for us, the audience, it's that.
I guess. When he's somewhat recovered and back battling bad guys, the fight sequences are grinding, extended affairs, just like season 1. If you watch the hallway fight, which is still a classic, you know how many times you saw season 1?
Yeah.
Okay, you know the hallway fight they're talking about.
You know my memory, right?
Okay, well, there's this like 5-minute long one-shot extended fight with him taking out these Russian bad guys in a hallway. And I just found out the other day how many takes they did of that before they got the one they wanted. 12.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Took them all day. No. Like the setup, they had to reset the set. They had to do all the
well, even resetting it, the time it would take. I mean, still only 12 takes for that. That's still impressive.
Well, maybe. I don't know how long a one-shot take of that complexity, and of course the physical requirements of doing all that stuff in one take 12 times over the course of a filming day. Anyway, crazy. Anyway, when he's somewhat recovered and back battling bad guys, the fight scenes are grinding, extended affairs. Viewers are meant to feel it viscerally every time a nose shatters or rib cracks. Yes. Murdoch emerges from each conflict bloodied, bruised, and exhausted. And in one notable instance, I'm not going to read that because that's a bit of a spoiler. Daredevil depicts Matt Murdock in pain because enduring that pain is what makes him a hero. Yes, he's not alone either. And also, if you notice in Daredevil, there's a lot of religious and Christ iconography in there, a little bit of, but that's been going on since the comic was written by Frank Miller, basically.
It's always been a theme. That's Hell's Kitchen plays a big part of the whole thing.
He's not alone either. Whether it's Daniel Craig laughing and joking through a brutal testicle whipping in Casino Royale, or Bruce Willis pulling broken glass out of his bare feet in Die Hard and continuing to fight, men in action movies and television series are constantly expected to shrug off tremendous damage, including being shot, stabbed, and graphically tortured. These narratives of stoic anguish make it seem natural and unremarkable for men to coldly ignore pain in real life, and at the same time, the trope usually makes women's suffering seem uninteresting or marginal.
So what we need is women getting beat more in films.
Yes, men need to be treated with a feather. Women need to have the shit beat out of them in order to balance the scales, I guess.
Has she not seen Terminator 2?
Yeah.
Based on what she said.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this is the man. Then this is the man saying this. This is not a woman.
Or what they said.
Yeah.
About, them like taking damage or anything like that. The reason that it is fascinating, the reason that people find it interesting, and the reason why these things are highlighted is because it is in fact unusual for somebody to take that amount of pain and be, and just shrug it off or laugh it off. That's what makes them badasses. If it wasn't unusual, if it was like a normal thing that anybody could do, then it wouldn't be of note. So that doesn't make any sense.
Well, the other thing too is that what is he doing it for? Like in season 1 of Daredevil, as I talked about, there's this long extended fight where Daredevil, by himself, before he has his armor and all that fun stuff, barehandedly takes on about half a dozen or more Russian mobsters in order to save a kidnapped child. He goes through long and extended moments of pain and physical violence and everything else, to the point where I, as an audience member, was exhausted watching him get exhausted fighting these guys. But why was he putting himself through this? To save another person's life.
No. It was to teach young boys that they can't be pussies. That's what that article's telling us.
You're right. That's what that scene was meant to do. It's meant to say, you're supposed to be, when you have when you have something you're fighting for, when you have a life you're trying to save, you put your all into it, especially with someone who's innocent and vulnerable.
No, Scribe. In that scene, the first guy who swung at him, what he should have done is curled up into a ball and started crying.
Yeah.
Because that's how you be a real man.
Yeah, that would have really showed those bad guys. They would have been like, wow, this man is displaying his feelings to us, and we realize the error of our toxic masculinity.
Exactly.
And they all would have cried and
he
baked
must
some
really
cookies,
care.
and then
Go get that child, give it back to him. He cares.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do one. How many more, Monkey?
We can do one or two more, but that last one, I just want to say to that author, go fuck yourself. But go ahead.
Try having fun watching a superhero show.
No shit.
I mean, you could make the exact same argument against, say, Supergirl, or the upcoming Batgirl show, or whatever else. I mean, I bet you dollars to donuts those characters are going to go through a lot of pain and struggle and strife, and it'll be the exact same structure as it is for Daredevil. They're doing it to help others as sacrifice, to show off how badass. You want to see overly inundated showing off how badass someone is? Watch the second season of Supergirl. It gets to the point where it's almost ridiculous just how they have to remind us how badass she is all the time. Like she fights Superman one-on-one at one point, right? I won't tell you why or how or what the circumstances were. And she beats Superman. Just so you know, Supergirl's a badass.
I think the guy who wrote that article was just on his period. That's all.
That could be. This one comes from Judge Death. Dog scams McDonald's customers out of burgers by pretending to be a stray.
Hey, I saw that in the movie Bolt.
How do you know that? Are you a dog whisperer? A woman in Oklahoma City has resorted to dog shaming.
Dog shaming.
Okay, after she caught her pet sneaking out at night to beg for hamburgers at a nearby McDonald's. In an expletive-laced Facebook post, Betsy Reyes said her dog, Princess, quote, "If you see my dog at the McDonald's on Shields," I assume that's a street, "quit feeding her fat ass because she don't know how to act and be leaving the house all the time to go walk into McDonald's at night. She's not even a stray dog. She's just a gold-digging ass bitch that be acting like she's a stray so people will feel bad for her and feed her burgers."
Wow. Wow. How's the dog getting out? Is it opening the door itself?
Reyes caught the dog in the act when she drove to McDonald's and photographed and filmed her taking food from drive-through customers. The dog approached Reyes's car, but when she saw her owner was behind the wheel, she moved on to another car in search of food.
So, oh shit, it's that bitch.
Animal behaviorist Corey Cohen laughed when he heard about the panhandling pooch. Quote, "It shows that dogs are far more intelligent and their behavior is more complex than simple stimulus/response," said Cohen, who was based in northeastern Pennsylvania. I don't think so. I think it's just like, I smell food from that direction. I'm going to go where the food is. People hand me food.
And then this works for me, so I'm going to keep doing it. That's
yes.
It's the exact opposite of what you said there, dog whisperer.
Yeah, it's not a super intelligent dog. It's just a dog that understands a pattern.
Yeah,
which is a form of intelligence.
Yes,
but it's not exactly complex. It's what Skinner's rats and Pavlov's bells and such. So we'll do one more here. Let me
still good doggy. Go get that food. You work your magic. Don't hate the game.
Okay, if this is true, this is nuts. This comes from Vindicated Scumfuck.
Jeez,
every time I read that name, it's just like, well, that's what you want me to call you.
There you go.
So this is a story from Fox 32 in Chicago. So I am assuming, and I underscore the word assuming, this is not a fake story or like a Weekly World News kind of story. Bridezilla claims to have secretly fattened up her bridesmaids before wedding.
What it's what?
One
guess.
What?
That's it. Let me guess. She did it so that way she'd be the best looking one there.
Oh, yes. One anonymous bridezilla is being accused of going, quote, too far, unquote, after claiming she secretly fattened up her two stunning sisters before their bridesmaid duties as she desperately wanted to be the center of attention and escape her lifelong fear of being, quote, the plain sister, unquote, on her big day. The bride recently wrote in a blog that she did everything to make her sisters look as ordinary as possible. She went on to explain she made each of them wear a neon yellow dress that would make them appear, quote, washed out and slightly ill. She says the worst thing she did was try to make her sisters gain weight in the months leading up to the wedding. Part of that plan included making them what they thought were, quote, special slimming breakfast smoothies every morning in the months leading up to the wedding that were actually filled with, quote, mega weight gain protein powder, unquote.
Oh my God, what a twat. Jesus.
The author says the wedding went off as planned, quote, without a hitch and everyone had a great time, unquote, but added that she does feel guilty when looking back at the day. Quote, and now when I look back on my wedding photos, as I do often as we've got them displayed around the house, I sometimes feel a twinge of guilt that I'm standing there glowing and gorgeous in my bridal gown, and my sisters are looking washed out and chubby. If you really did that, you're a horrible person. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes.
And you are so you got some self-image issues that I feel sorry for your husband's going to have to deal with from the rest of his life now. So anyway,
alrighty, that'll wrap up MSS News for the evening, guys. Thank you so much for all the submissions. That moves us on to YouTube time. And Satsu, what have you been up to?
Well, I recorded a video today that I neglected to upload because I was doing some other shit. But it was basically an announcement video to tell everybody about my Twitch streaming, which I did my first last night, and it went well. It went really good, actually. I was playing Dead Space and getting the shit scared out of me, and I had a good time. I also have a definitive schedule. I think I told you guys about that already, but the video will be uploading probably tomorrow to give you guys all the finer details, and there's some highlights from the stream. I was going to do a video on the Young Turks today because those fucking assholes are constantly pissing me off. Because I was looking at their video talking about the memo or whatever that transgender people were freaking out about, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually listening to Anna talk about it. And the very first thing that came out of her mouth when she was explaining what was going on is the fact that this memo is set to take away people's right to identify with whatever gender they want. And it's going to force them to identify with whatever gender, they were born with.
They were assigned at birth.
Yeah. Now, the memo, I have the quotes for the memo. I have them both highlighted and everything. In both of the quotes that were presented in both the New York Times and the source that they put up where they got it from, it says sex. In every instance, they're talking about this thing that's going on. It says biological sex, biological sex, biological sex. Your sex determined from when you were born, your sex on your ID. That's what it says throughout the whole thing. But the way she presented it was that this is about gender. It's about your gender identity. You won't be able to do X, Y, and Z. And then they put the same quote that was in the memo on their channel and literally took out the word sex and replaced the quote, the actual quote, with gender.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
I'm like, really? Like, you had to actually do that. Somebody had to actually do that. If you were going to quote what they actually said, and presuming this was copy and pasted onto this template, somebody literally had to change the word gender to sex or sex to gender.
Yep.
And I was like, are you fucking serious?
But it's okay.
And then somebody...
oh,
go ahead.
Transphobe. That's why. I mean, they can get away.
When I brought it up, somebody told me that I was arguing semantics.
No, you're not.
And I'm like, are you fucking serious? He's like, you're not looking at the bigger picture. You clearly don't understand what the, because that's the go-to response for people who don't actually have an explanation is you missed the point. So they're like, you clearly missed the point. You're arguing semantics instead of the actual issue here. I'm like, no, I'm not. Because depending on whether they said sex or gender, the conversation completely changes.
Yeah, if it was a question of semantics, then why did they change the quote?
Exactly.
If there's no
what
difference,
was the point of changing the quote?
Yeah, if sex and gender as terms and concepts are interchangeable, then why not just quote it completely? Anyway.
Yeah, that shit pissed me off. It really pissed me off because they actually made a conscious effort to change the terminology. And what really made me mad, because I was watching it and I had heard her say that, and I'm like, this bitch is lying out of her face. Almost immediately after She gave the quote and changed the term gender to sex. She gave an explanation of the difference between sex and gender. Immediately after she said, so there's a difference between sex and gender. Sex is something you're born with, it's biological, whatever, and blah blah blah, and gender is your identity. You should be able to identify with whatever you want. After she changed the quote. So it wasn't like she didn't know or it was an honest mistake, because those words are swapped back and forth in various situations for various reasons, and I can see that happening when contextually it doesn't matter. But in this situation, I'm like, that was very relevant, extremely relevant. What the fuck? It pissed me off. It pissed me the fuck off. Yeah, I'm gonna link the video to you guys. Somebody just asked me to link it, so I'm gonna put that up there. But that's what I was doing, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just bitch about it on Lords of the Night. So let me find this real quick. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did today.
You know, the person who told you we're arguing semantics, did they talk about the semantics of Anna going back and forth between what sex and gender is?
No. They just pretended like it didn't happen. They pretended like that, like I was just making it up. They watched the same video I watched, and they just pretended like it didn't take place in the video. Like I was just making that up.
Yeah.
It was in like the first 3 minutes of the video. So
if somebody says that sex and gender are the same thing as ignoring reality, surprise, surprise.
Right. Oh man. Okay. I did 2 streams one last night, one this morning. As I mentioned, I took the one down this morning, but last night's is still there, and that was another fun talk. I'm not working on a video. The one that I was planning, I don't know if I'm waiting for another story to come out that I waited too long, so I need a more relevant story to finish that one off, but it will get done, I'm sure. Much the way the eventual no newspaper one did. Dax, why did I take one down this morning? I made a mistake on there. But other than that, Scribbles, what'd you work on?
Well, I recorded the audio. I revised the script for and recorded the audio for my next video. It's again, as I said last night, it's about the dangers of politeness, or how manners are racist. I won't go any more detail than that, but I started doing a little assembly before the stream tonight and before my adventure with Comcast. So if I am able to tomorrow, hopefully I'll either finish assembling it and post it before the stream, or just about finish assembling it and post it Friday morning, something like that. So we'll see. Otherwise, I also did a little bit of tweaking to the special Halloween story that I've written for 2 Girls, 1 Stream. That'll be on next Wednesday's show of theirs. I'm thinking I'm going to try to do a one-off reading of my story with creepy music or something that I will post after their show's gone up for anybody who wants to listen to it without them probably laughing to themselves or stumbling over my use of vocabulary.
All righty. Guys, don't forget, tonight is the open server for 7 Days to Die. If you have 7 Days to Die on PC, which at least one person in the audience has a brand new copy of, you can come hang out with us and over on 2 Cents Plus. You can also just watch us if you don't want to play along. That brings us on to Fucketry time. And
man.
Oh Lord, has there been a lot.
Today was a day.
You know, but before we get into the specific Fucketry, they just came out and said that all of these were packed with glass.
That was a report from the AP. Supposedly, they were packed with broken shards of glass.
Have you seen the picture of the CNN bomb?
Yeah, it had like a little, I don't know, like a cartridge on the side that looked like it had like metal shrapnel in it or something, or attached to it.
I didn't see any glass in that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if the glass was packed inside the pipe, I guess that's one possibility. Usually, what you do though, and I'm not giving away anything you can't see in like many movies or things, is that if you're going to have something that's going to act as shrapnel to do more damage in the area, you attach it to the outside of the bomb so that it disperses. So that's why you see in a lot of police photos of pipe bombs and things that guys will have taped nails around the outside of the bomb or washers or whatever. That's also why when you see an old pineapple type grenade, the reason that it looks like a pineapple is each one of those squares is designed to detach in the explosion and become its own little piece of shrapnel that goes all over the place. Glass, either packed inside the bomb or otherwise, I mean, yeah, it'll do some damage, but it'll also probably turn to dust in the explosion and won't do that much of like actual shrapnel damage. So it's really, if that is true, and again, that was just an AP breaking news thing. So remember, everything that we talk about that we were just hearing is all grain of salt, which I wish more people had done today instead of jumping to fucking conclusions and making accusations.
Well, it also bothers me in the CNN picture how close those Clorox wipes are.
Why is that?
I wonder how much evidence they wiped away.
Oh, I see.
And Harbo says, "Get Her Done" was printed on the silhouette with the silhouette of naked ladies. Yeah, the ISIS flag on the bombs that so many people saw turns out to be a what the fuck's his name? Larry the Cable Guy reference.
What?
So, yeah, it says "Get Her Done."
What? Okay.
Yeah, you know the little circle on the ISIS flag?
Yeah.
On the, apparently it's a sticker you can get and it says "Get Her Done."
Why? Okay, I don't know much about Larry the Cable Guy. Is he supposed to be like?
I don't think he endorses it.
No. I'm just saying,
okay.
like, why? What does Larry symbolize that someone would put it on the bomb?
Redneck American.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. That more and more, I'm telling you, this just doesn't look like a serious thing to me. And I realize bombs are serious, but
a lot of people are saying false flag, and I'm always really, really hesitant to because it's like nobody knows who did it or why yet, making these kind of jumps to conclusions that we don't have all the information. So
with what I've seen, I don't even if my Bernie theory comes true, I don't think it's a false flag. I think it was somebody who was seriously pissed off about what happened.
Yeah.
No, and I get what you're saying. There's a lot of people false flag, maybe, but yeah, I don't know. Let's talk about the stupid shit that was said about it. What do you guys have any examples pulled up?
Yes. 1 second here. I got a couple that I was.
Hey, Monkey, let me address AJ real quick. AJ says, we're not saying we know, we're speculating. We're not talking about people who are saying it's probably this, or it might be that, or it could be this. We're talking about people who are definitively going out there saying, it is absolutely this. See, I told you guys all along, this is what it is. This is what it was.
Oh, well.
Like, that's what we're talking about.
So Candace Owens has now deleted the tweet. But she had said something. I made a parody of her initial statement. My statement is, I'm going to go ahead and say there is 0% chance that declaring a belief without evidence should be taken seriously by any rational person. She said something to the effect, and I can't quote it anymore because she took it away, but her tweet was, I'm going to go ahead and say there is 0% chance that this was done by a conservative. And then the other one that got me earlier today, let's see. No, that was Saudi Arabia. Okay, here we go. So Ben Collins, who is an MSNBC person, he said, there will be a rush to pin these mail bombs on extremist talking points from fringe websites like 4chan and QAnon adjacent communities on Reddit and Facebook. But Soros, Obama, and the Clintons have been viewed as the root of all evil on talk radio and Fox News for over a decade. So I said, so instead of rushing to assume the fault of some entities, we should rush to assume the fault of other entities. How about we wait until we have all the facts before rushing to pin anything on anyone?
I have Candace Owens' complete tweet here.
You do?
Somebody had it. He says, I'm going to go ahead and state that there's a 0% chance that these suspicious packages were sent out by conservatives. The only thing suspicious about these packages is their timing, caravans, fake bomb threats. These leftists are going all out for the midterms. That was her full one. Hello? Did I lose you guys?
No,
okay.
No,
I
I
had nothing to add. That was all I had to say.
Yeah. And anybody going out and saying they know 100%, just like these people with their hashtag MAGA bombers, nobody knows.
Right.
There are several theories that would fit this.
It's fun to speculate. I'm not going to deny anybody the sort of morbid entertainment of speculating. But people who are saying it was this or it wasn't this or anything else doesn't know anything more than the rest of us.
I tweeted out this morning when we only knew about the Clinton and Obama bombs. Just to float an idea, is it possible the bombs sent to the Clintons and Obamas were sent by Hillary Clinton because she wanted attention? And I said, relax, guys, I'm only half joking. And somebody got mad, and they're like, I don't think he's really joking. I'm like, well, I would say you could fucking watch it because I did it while I was live on the air. But some people, man, they're so involved. Go ahead.
Technically, they weren't wrong because you were half joking.
No, do I think Hillary does shit just for attention? Sure. Do I think she would try to send fake bombs to each other, to her and Obama? No.
Well, we don't know that they're fake either. None of them went off, but they keep talking about how they could have or they were.
What I meant by that is if she had sent them, I don't think she'd have sent real bombs.
Oh, well, sure. Yeah.
It's much more likely. I feel like it's much more likely if this was somebody who really wanted to do some damage to these people because they hated them that much. There would have been some casualties. Like, there's no way that this many bombs are being sent out and there are no casualties. I mean, unless it was literally just to send a political message, which is a possibility too.
They are entirely incompetent.
Yeah, just completely fucking.
Yeah, I mean, those are your two choices, really. But this other dude tweeted out today, it's part of the MAGA bomber thing. Targeted so far by the MAGA bomber, the Clintons, Obamas, Eric Holder, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Kamala Harris, which I didn't know. I haven't heard of her getting one.
Hadn't heard of that one, no.
Maxine Waters, John Brennan, and Andrew Cuomo, which turned out to be false.
Right.
Every single person on this list has been targeted with verbal attacks from Trump. Trump bears sole responsibility.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Now,
not the person who did it. Trump bears sole responsibility.
Yes, and I retweeted with the very civil, "You're a fucking moron." To which the same person who had a problem with my Hillary joke responded, "Are you sure?" Like, am I sure Trump doesn't bear sole responsibility? Yeah. And unless you think he packaged and mailed the bombs, he cannot possibly bear sole responsibility. Even if you think he told somebody to do it, you stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, just like, come on, people. What's so funny, though, is he neglected to mention that half of those people also, enticed people to go fucking harass and fuck with other people. So all the people who have been harassed, do they have
Maxine Waters bears sole responsibility for any harassment that occurs in restaurants or their homes, etc. Right? Okay.
Yeah, it's 100% her fault.
Yeah.
People are dumb. This is why I can't deal with this shit. There's too much fucking double standards, hypocrisy, and shit. It's so hard to keep up with whoever, and try to figure out who the fuck is actually sincere and who's not. And that's like my biggest thing, because nothing pisses me off more than getting riled up about something just to find out that the person who's pushing the shit is a fucking hypocrite who literally has no actual moral standing. It's just fucking. I hate this shit. It's so annoying. But it's hilarious. So
this other one, there was a back and forth that led to a guy eventually going, right-wing terrorists kill 10 times more people than left-wing terrorists. That's not a good argument.
What?
And then he goes, now
what a compelling argument.
Hold on. He goes, then now there's even a MAGA bomber going around.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
To which I replied, if you know who it is, you should probably contact the FBI.
Right.
Yeah. Can you do that and help everybody out, since you seem to know exactly who and why?
Everybody's hoping whoever it is on the other guy's team.
Yeah. And it's
I'm hoping whoever it is doesn't refine their moronics and get it right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
hoping. I don't give a fuck which side it comes from.
Now, I do have something else. Regardless of who did this, what do you guys think the odds are that they take this person in alive?
If they find out who it is, I think they will, because typically bombing suspects are huge cowards.
True.
You're not talking about somebody who's shooting people. This, sorry guys, going into psychology here. Typically, bombers are giant cowards, and they will come in, if not peacefully, they'll still give themselves up
or kill themselves, one or the other. I just don't. I wonder what. Well, I know this is kind of a pointless statement because I was about to say I wonder what they're going to do. The people who are like, it's definitively this MAGA bomber. Here's the hashtag. We're all jumping on this train, and they're just like, yeah, it was a Hillary supporter, self-proclaimed. They've been supporting Hillary for this amount. They gave this amount of money to Democrats. What are they going to say to that? Like, I'm curious what their reaction is going to be.
Oh, there won't be a reaction. It'll go away quick.
Yeah, they'll just be like, oh, well, from this moment forth, this never happened.
Real quick,
just pretend like it didn't happen.
RJ says this bomber deserves life in jail. Yeah, even if nobody was hurt, I mean, this is clearly terrorism. Obviously, with a political agenda, whether false flag or not, it's a terrorist event with a political agenda. They should go to Leavenworth for the rest of their lives. I have no problem with that. I do think Donald Trump has been watching our shows, guys.
Why is that?
Oh yeah.
He's giving a speech. Where is he? Wisconsin, Minnesota. I don't know where he's at. He's somewhere giving a speech, and one of the things he says is those engaged in the political arena must stop treating political opponents as being morally defective. Which is something we've talked about here, and we just talked about it on my morning show today, as we were explaining, because we were explaining it to Dorky, who's an Australian, that not everybody over here that is on the left is evil. They just have different morality than people on the right, and while that can look evil, there's, for the most part, these are people who try to do the right thing. No matter what you think of most politicians, even Maxine Waters. That stupid shit she said, she was saying it because she thought it was the right thing to do. She's fighting for what she believes is the right morality.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, what goes on in the political arena isn't about morality. It's about policy, and when you turn it into a moral argument, that's when you start getting fuckwads who, whichever side did this, start sending bombs to people.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do see it as a moral imperative to stop those bad people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is my moral obligation, and that's why when it comes to facts versus feelings, or pushing your entire political narrative or your campaign or whatever off of the battlefield of just like pure emotions. This is why we deflect that shit so much, because we're like, this is the type of shit that comes from it. When you rile people up on solely emotion, and that's it. Like that's all they got to go on. Then base fucking human instincts come out, and people start getting in that fight or flight that mode, and doing crazy fucking shit like this.
Well, it's also more of a danger to people who are already unstable.
Sure.
Yeah.
Exactly. Usually the guys that go to abortion clinics and shoot people up or whatever else weren't exactly dealing with a full deck to begin with. But you feed them a cause, you feed them a righteous mission, you feed them something that sort of gives them a purpose in life, whereas they have no other. Yeah, you can inspire some people to do some crazy stuff. Does that then make the person who might have said something that inspired another person responsible? Well, it depends on the circumstances. It comes down to a legal question of incitement. But generally speaking, yeah, Donald Trump is not responsible for these bombs. And Maxine Waters is not directly responsible for anybody going off and punching somebody in the face at a restaurant. So,
well, here's the thing: you have both sides lining up to say MAGA bomber or false flag.
Mm-hmm.
What do you win if you're right? Seriously, this is one guy, as far as we know, maybe 2, 3 tops, who mailed thankfully non-working pipe bombs to somebody.
Oh.
What do you win if you're right that it was the other side?
I know exactly what they win. Ideological vindication.
Not really. I get what you're saying, but no, you really, that's not how it works. This is
from what I've seen, it's one of those. See, where we were justified in all the horrible shit we did.
That's what I mean. Ideological vindication. The guys we said were bad are the bad ones, and we're on the side of right. That's the prize for this.
Except for
so
again,
we can keep doing all the shit we keep doing.
It's not like the DNC or the RNC was behind this. And if it does come out that this was a major political movement from the RNC or the DNC, okay, then you can say it.
No.
Otherwise,
okay, sorry.
You're talking about one or two fucking lunatics.
But here's the thing that's more so. Not necessarily that. Here's the icing on the cake, I guess. It's the Nelson Muntz ha that someone can get on anyone else who accused the other side of being the guilty ones.
Oh, sure, you got that now too.
Yeah, the gotcha moment of you were totally wrong, and that the gotcha moment, the ability to gloat is probably actually I'll take it back. I think that's probably the main prize to be had aside from ideological vindication. That's also there too, I suppose. But being able to gloat over anybody else who accused the wrong side, especially on social media and having screenshots and being able to do that forever. Yeah,
sure.
That is a prize.
Yeah. And it also negates their like the necessity for them to explain away some of the dumb shit that they do. Like, for example, I don't know if you guys ever seen that meme post where it's like, there was like, oh, thank God, you said something that put me in a corner and was like really detrimental to my argument. But fortunately for me, you made an error in grammar. So now I get to focus on that and not have to. Yeah. They're just like, whoa,
Gregory,
that was close. I would have had to explain myself.
Gregory says it's not necessarily hoping it was the other side as it is hoping it's not your side. That's not what I'm seeing on Twitter. I'm not seeing anybody going, oh, please don't let this be one of our crazies. It's everybody going, this is one of your crazies. It has to be because the election is coming or because Donald Trump is a thing. Yeah. I wish that's what it was, Gregory. Yeah, I wish it was people going, man, I hope this wasn't one of ours. Because maybe we can tone down our rhetoric. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I could understand that sentiment. I could definitely understand that sentiment if I didn't know for an absolute fact that whichever side it was, whatever side has been saying definitively it was that side, if their side loses, they're just going to pretend it didn't happen anyway. So it's not like they're not going to like start saying, oh, well, these people are horrible for doing that. Or they're not going to turn on their side and say, well, you know, those people are terrible and they shouldn't have. They're just going to be like, oh, well.
Yeah,
just back away slowly.
I know you didn't mean it this way, Satsu, but it is important for the sake of just everything else. No side did this. Some individual nutbag did
this. You know what I mean.
This isn't being except by other crazies. None of this is being endorsed by any political party or sane affiliation with such. It's just, and all I care about is they find this person, regardless of their motives, and they shut them down. I don't care who they are, what their reasoning was. Yep. Like I say, with all these other killers and everything else, their rationale means dick to me. So long as they get taken out of the equation.
Real quick, I want to read something that just came across my Twitter.
Okay.
If you've ever wondered how regular people stood by and watched Germany descend into Nazism,
oh no!
Now you know.
Knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe.
You know, I've seen a lot of people, the Zucker from CNN today came out and like, Donald Trump has done this because he says mean stuff about the press. Stop it, because you're just as guilty as pushing absolute nonsense and spreading hatred that could cause the kind of shit we saw today as anything Donald Trump has said. So stop it.
Exactly.
Donald Trump is not a Nazi, you fucking retards.
It's like Donald Trump said that we're fake news because we put out fake news. So here is us putting out fake news to prove that we're not fake news and blame this on Donald Trump.
Yeah, I mean, when the
relentless.
if this does turn out to be a leftist, how does he ever pull his head up again and deny Donald Trump calling them fake news?
Yeah. Yeah, if this definitively is proven to not have any connection to Donald Trump or anybody who supports Donald Trump, like I said, they'll fucking grab the little flashlight or whatever from the Men in Black and flash themselves and be like, all right, well.
Well, we saw the same thing with that the shooting at the other newspaper. I forget the name of it now. Sorry, guys. Short-term memory sucks. You know what I'm talking about. A couple months ago, where the guy shot up the newsroom and everybody like, Donald Trump's mean words towards reporters caused this. Like, no, it's been a 10-year battle with this guy and that specific news organization.
Yep.
And there are people who still, I've seen people still pushing that narrative.
Yeah,
that was directly linked to Donald Trump and his rhetoric.
Because it has to be, because there's angry, stupid shit on both sides. That is just fact.
Yeah, it's all over the fucking place.
It's objectively true. And for either side to be pointing to the other and going, you caused this, fuck off. Both of you are stupid. Both of you need to calm down. Both of you need to stop acting like the fucking sky is falling because the other person exists. Thank you, Walton. God damn. You almost became Watson, man. And that's what happens here when I read names. Have not watched much news today other than bomb reports here and there in streams. But has the caravan conversation been intertwined or ignored today? Mostly ignored today. It's come out that the caravan might be up to 14,000 people. But otherwise, yeah, it's taken a back burner to all of this, which, by the way, some people think is proof that the Democrats are doing it because they don't want that on the main page. It's also been proof that Trump is doing it because he doesn't want it on the main page. So take that for what it's worth.
And but either way, you know, whenever they find this person, and if and when they're able to determine, you know, what groups they're linked to or what Facebook pages they liked or whatever, there is going to be so much victory dancing on the ideological opposite.
Now, if it turns out to be a Bernie supporter, I will do a little dance just because I made that connection.
That is a unique theory. I will give you that. I had heard that one.
The only person that got a bomb that isn't directly related to all of that in some way is Maxine Waters. So yeah, that's I'm really curious if that'll, because remember, guys, that shooting was a Bernie supporter, the congressman being shot. Bernie supporters are crazy.
Steve Scalise.
Yeah, just kidding, guys. Some Bernie supporters are nice people. Thank you, Stargazer Nuts. She dropped the link for the 7 Days to Die open server in the stream there. She has my Discord, Satsu's Discord, both of where you can find out how to join us, and the link to the channel so you can watch us. That'll be directly after this show, guys, over on 2 cents plus. Eric,
I'm going to verbalize this time.
Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Thank you. Thank you for doing
that. Thank you.
All right.
Prospero says Eric Holder. There's not as directly. I think it would have made more sense to and I'm not advocating sending bombs here, but to send it to Loretta Lynch instead of Holder. But deep state stuff. If you follow the crazies, you can find the connections. And unfortunately, I spend a lot of time following crazies. With that, guys, we're going to go ahead and move on to your time. See, at the Lords of the Night here, we like to hear from you. We think your voice is just as important as ours. Well, maybe not just as important.
Yeah. Okay. Take that back.
Well, it makes them feel good. Stop it.
Walk it back, monkey.
We think your voice is important, and so we set aside this time each night for you to ask questions, give us comments to spark the conversation, so that we don't end up with dead air for half an hour. So if you have questions, comments, or concerns, throw them into the chat now, and we'll do our best to answer them. AJ says, we suck. Don't lie. I don't know if you suck or not. I'm not privy to your personal life.
I only suck if you ask nice and give me money.
Jean-Pierre asks, what if it was an anarchist? Then I think it probably would have went across the aisle. The Red Hawk says, I filled out my mail-in ballot while listening to you guys. Please tell people to go vote. No, I will tell people if you are informed or plan on getting informed, then you should go vote. Otherwise, keep your ass at home. And I know that's not a popular thing. We're supposed to tell everybody to go vote, but there's a lot of stupid people out there. And I'm not a fan of people who just go out there and like, well, I'm a Democrat. I'm going to pull this whole lever. If you don't know what's going on, if you don't know who you're voting for, what you're voting for, get informed or stay the fuck home. Did God give them to Squishy? Give what to Squishy?
That's whose balls?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What's your favorite day of the week? Probably Saturday, because I'm a late night person and you tend to get people staying up later. So
I like Friday because I know it's just basically the weekend is on the way.
When you're an angst-filled teenager, were you as anarchic as these young people seem to be?
Okay, were you as cold as a teenager as you are now?
Was I an anarchist when I was No, I've never been an anarchist. My older brother was. He always had the question everything, and he put the little anarchy symbol everywhere.
Oh God.
No, I'm not. I do believe you need some order in your life, especially for a functioning society. Do you think the NPC meme and the Russian bot meme are roughly equal in their redundancy? Not yet. No, the NPC meme's a lot newer than the Russian bot one. They'll get there, though. I'm sure. I have faith in the NPC meme.
Not only that, the Russian bot one is in mainstream media.
That's true. That is true. Do you think someone in
used by edgelords?
Do you think someone in Antifa could have sent the bombs? Given how inadequately they were done, that's definitely possible.
No, they didn't send explosive trash cans.
Yeah, but that would be my only guess, or my only way of linking it to them is how poorly pulled off it was. If it was an anarchist, the bombs would have probably worked. You're not wrong there. That's another reason I don't think it's going to be one of these right-wing survivalists, because frankly, I think they're more capable than that. When Satsu went silent, I thought, really? The black guy dies first? Sorry, that's funny. It is Halloween time, so we got to watch out for Satsu for the next couple of weeks.
Oh, Jesus.
Speaking of which, don't forget to go watch him on Twitch. You're doing what, Tuesdays and Thursdays?
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays.
Oh, there you go. On Twitch, where he's playing Dead Space 1 and 2 for Halloween. Kathy asks, what the
sorry,
fuck?
Guys, I'm eating right now because I know I have to.
Kathy says, what the fuck happened to the world?
Disco.
That's part of it, man.
I have no idea. Or the death of disco, one of the two.
This is all of the drugs from the 70s coming back to haunt us. What did I miss on 7 Days to Die last week? Mostly just building data. We're trying to time it so that we have a horde night on Halloween. So we'll be playing tonight, and if need be, we might go an extra hour so that our Halloween stream will be a horde night. But otherwise, yeah, we're just building. Ranting Monkey, have you been to a pine forest? I live in Michigan. Yes, I have.
Have you been to the Pine Barrens?
I have not.
Oh, that's where the Jersey Devil lives.
What's the weirdest way to get high on weed?
Putting it up your ass?
That would be my best guess. Ebony says, Monkey, I kind of sort of need relationship advice. A guy I knew in college texts and dumps his emotional baggage on me. He recently suggested he'd come visit me. Advice to tell him to give me space. Just tell him that you're not ready for that. Just I'm not comfortable with that. I enjoy talking to you on here, but I'm not ready for that kind of relationship.
Yeah. Make no plans and make no assurances.
Why does Antifa hate glass and trash cans so much? They don't fight back.
Yeah, and they're easy to break and knock over, unlike people mostly.
Not the trash cans. I've seen them have trouble with some of those. Satsu, what are you eating? Ribs, I think.
I'm eating ribs.
Yeah, he just typed it in there. He told us earlier, but yeah. My memory is sort of... Sort of worked on that one.
I put a picture up on. Well, I put the picture of the before. I didn't get a chance to take a picture of the after because Squishy got home and she was like, "Oh yeah."
Monkey, have you taken LSD? No.
Share? Nah, bruh.
I'm not a fan of losing my reality. Do you guys remember if I took my medicine?
I was talking to Comcast. I have no idea.
It would have been during the stream. Did anybody hear me pull out my medicine and take it?
Do we need to
You
add
absolutely
like?
didn't say you pulled it out.
All right, don't talk with your mouth full there, young man. Do we need to add like? Has Monkey taken his medicine to our opening reverie?
Well, the problem is I wouldn't remember. Was the glass in the bombs representative of the shattered glass ceiling when Hillary won?
Oh,
Shit.
nice.
Prospero, I love you.
That was a good one.
Prospero says she didn't hear me. Well, we'll know because about halfway through 7 Days to Die, my whole body will go numb. I'm going to take them just in case because shit, I remember doing that now. Well, that's bad timing. Huh. Thank you, Michael. Satsu needs to do more cooking videos. He's talked about that. He will when he gets a better place to set up. So make sure you're donating to him on his nights and such. On my nights, by the way, you can donate to me if you'd like to. I'm a cripple. Just kidding. Don't do that. I'm sorry. That was a joke this morning because I just happened to be telling a story about being crippled right before I did a commercial for my donations, and I realized how they went together. Do not ever donate to me because you feel bad. Donate to me if you think I'm funny or if I'm entertaining to you.
There you go.
Because that's what it should be for.
Donate money if you laugh at his pain.
Pyra says, Monkey, why don't you get a pillbox? Well, here's a funny story. I actually have 2.
They don't help.
I forget to fill them, and then I forget which ones I've taken.
Yeah, doesn't help.
Jean-Pierre says, did you buy pizza? I haven't left the house today. And yes,
you don't have to leave the house to buy pizza. You can order pizza.
Well, no, Dax specifically donated to me so I could have mini pizzas because I was the whole way it came up on how cripple I am is we were discussing what I eat, and I was telling people, was it yesterday? It was either yesterday or last night. I had a hot dog, a cold hot dog with ranch on it, and today don't judge me. Today I had a cold hot dog dipped in French onion dip, both of which are very good as long as you don't look at them because it does kind of have that dick with semen look about it. But they are very good. And we were discussing why I eat that way. And honestly, most of the time it's because by the time I make it to the top of the stairs into the kitchen to eat, I can't do anything else. I grab whatever I can and I go.
Monkey eats that way.
That's
because
nasty.
he's a goat.
It's how I live, y'all. Luckily, I was a poor kid, and
luckily you were a poor kid.
You will not believe how handy that comes in when you're a cripple.
I suppose
because I can eat basically anything now. I mean,
yeah, okay.
I have eaten pickle sandwiches because that was all that was in the house.
Jesus. What is Lady Monkey? What is she doing to you? Is she abusing you, Monkey? Just blink once for yes and twice for no.
Well, she wasn't home today. She had to go to the office.
Okay.
So no, she takes care of me. I mean, there's times that she uses her lunch to feed me, which I love her for, and I cannot thank her enough for. But there are times when I'm on my own to feed myself, and it sucks. Red Feather says, "Holy shit! Maybe reevaluate your meds with my doctor, dude. You have no idea how many medicines we've been through." Earl says, I need a mini fridge. You know, that's one of my fundraisers going on, I think. Get Monkey a mini fridge.
That's been going on a while now.
Yeah, we also have the newest one that was brought up today was I think Bear brought it up, the Monkey Foundation to track all the monkey foundations.
Yeah, somebody needs to have a spreadsheet.
Because I have a ton of them, guys. And for the record, none of them are serious. And I'm just throwing that out there because I don't want somebody to be, oh, I'm donating to his foundation. I'm going to get a tax write-off. There's no tax write-offs for this, guys. Sometimes rock stars smash their guitars, so should country stars start breaking their banjos?
No. Banjos are expensive.
You're thinking more of bluegrass for banjo. I mean, there is
Yeah.
some in country music, but mostly they're more of a acoustic guitar kind of thing. If
Yeah.
they're playing good country, and they have electric guitars now, which is like fucking weird. What are your favorite pizza toppings? It depends on the day. My all-time favorite is probably just pepperoni, though. I'm a simple man.
What brand mini pizzas do you like to get?
I don't usually get mini pizzas. The last ones I did get, what were they?
Red Baron. I like Red Baron.
I can't remember what they were. They were a cheap little one. Totino's.
Oh, okay.
The same people who make the pizza rolls. And by the way, those are not very good microwaved, but it'll work in a pinch. Monkey, how did you miss the broken banjo joke? Gregory, you're talking to me. Do you guys know what a broken banjo is?
It's a euphemism for something sexual.
It is. Well, kind of. It's a
Huh?
euphemism for breaking the little flap of skin on the underside of your wiener right at the top of the head. Yeah. Bear introduced us to that last night and completely ruined me. Cirque says, Monkey, Streamlabs. I'm happy to head over there. Let's see. $5. Thank you, Cirque. I feel bad for you, Monkey, because you don't have enough ramen. Now that you can feel bad for me for. I need more ramen in my life because I love me some ramen. Actually, I'm going to have to get more ramen soon. I'm almost out.
There's a ramen restaurant opening up near where I live soon, like I think in the next 6 months or something. So I've never really dined on professionally made ramen versus just the stuff you get out of the Top Ramen stuff. So I might have to try it.
How do you not kill your significant other?
By not doing so.
That would be a good one, yeah.
Yeah, just don't attempt to do them permanent damage, and you should be okay.
Try Xanax, but with a doctor's prescription.
Yes.
Would you ever lock yourself in a sensory deprivation tank? Me, no.
Now, speaking of the Xanax thing, just make sure that that doctor does not have a girlfriend and you're not in Europe. Because he might be wanting to rape you.
Would you do a sensory deprivation tank?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Just for the experience of it, sure. Relatively harmless.
Yeah, for me, all it would do is give me the chance to concentrate on nothing but this.
Unless I de-evolve down to caveman monster guy like in Altered States, then that would be a little bit too much. But yeah, so long as I was doing it without taking all the crazy psychotropic drugs that the character in that movie did, I think I'd be okay.
Duck Dog asks about the ramen thing, Nissen or Top. Yes, I like both. I prefer Top Ramen. It's a little bit saltier, but they're both good.
Monkey likes salt.
I do. When I was a poor kid, we were lucky to have ranch dressing to dip in for our off-brand raw hot dogs. For the record, when you're doing the whole ranch dressing or French onion for your hot dog, it has to be the off-brand ones. It can't be like an Oscar Mayer or a what's the Hebrew National. No. You have to go for the how in the world did they sell these so cheap ones? And you don't want to know the answer to that either. But those are the ones that work best with that. Which has a better national anthem, the U.S. or Canada? Really? America.
Oh, Canada, our homely naked land. Yeah, no. That's how I always heard it. Homely naked land. I know that's not the actual lyrics, but I think it's funny.
You're probably right though. Is David Hogg a transsexual? No.
Not yet.
Not yet. Wait a little while. He'll have some long hair and he'll.
You can decide. You can change your mind at any time in life.
Satsu 2 cents. Are there mods for 7 Days to Die?
Yes. Yes, there are. I don't have access to any of them, but they do exist.
You have access to all of them. They're on the internet.
I don't know how to fucking. Oh, who is it? Is it Lindsay? I think it's Lindsay in the chat. I'm about to drop a link for you, something for you to check out.
All right. Who would you rather fight, Spider-Man or the Flash? Spider-Man, because he's a better hero, and I'd want to test myself against the best.
Yeah.
He'd be like, my spider senses tell me there's a cripple who thinks he can kick my ass nearby.
All you have to do to fight the Flash is stick your arm straight out to the side. Eventually, he'll run into it. You're fine.
Strategic banana peel. You'll lose that arm, dude.
Yeah, you'll lose the arm. It's true. Or he'll phase right through you or something. I mean, yeah.
Monkey is my other son's single. Yes, he is. As far as I know, I haven't talked to him about his sex life in a while. Not his sex life, his romantic life.
How often do you talk to your son about his sex life?
I don't. The last time I talked to either of my sons about their sex life was to give them condoms and tell them to use them.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't care what you're doing. Don't tell me you're not. Here's these for when you need them. And if you need more, tell me when. Gregory Hurst, on the way to St. Ives, I met a...
Oh, God. As I was going to St. Ives, I met a man with 7 wives. Each wife.
If you want to hear me fuck that up, it'll take a donation. Sorry. So why does he have a female body? You're talking about Hog? Because Hog, yeah. Because he doesn't eat enough and he's a skinny little kid. By the way, don't date females with that body because, I mean, there's no Benzer in there, is there? I haven't looked at David Hogg's ass. Does he have an ass, y'all?
I do not look at, no, I have no idea.
As far as I know, he doesn't have breasts. I mean...
We all have breasts, Monkey. Just some of them are, more pronounced because of either weight or femininity.
And there I was at the bathroom with a tough choice to make. David Hogg. Jesus. Canada ripped theirs off of Mozart, talking about the national anthem.
Probably.
But it's so bad. See, that's why, holy shit.
Of course, we ripped ours off of Britain, so, what do you want?
Thank you. I have a donation I was told I don't need to announce. But it was a donation for the mini fridge. Thank you so much. You know who you are. I can't thank you. Holy shit.
The Monkey?
Yes.
Immediately after the stream, before we start, go to walmart.com. They are on sale.
Are they? Oh, yeah. It's around that time. Where are we at? Arizona or Arkansas? No, what's AR? AR is
Arkansas.
AK is Arkansas.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, Arizona. Sorry, my bad.
I thought Arizona was AZ.
What the? You're fucking confusing me now. Just shut up. I'm not going to talk anymore.
Scribe, what's your damn favorite Kiss song?
My damn favorite Kiss song? I don't know much about Kiss other than they did a really bad horror movie. But I guess, yeah, that one. I Want to Rock
and Roll all night. Actually, I love Beth. Beth is my favorite song from them.
Yeah.
Oh, AK's Alaska, AR is Arkansas. Thank you so much.
Yes, okay, I got confused. I'm stupid.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Those are states I'm never going to because there's either inbreeding or coldness.
What's wrong with Alaska?
Coldness.
Yeah, but weren't you Antarctic as a kid?
Me?
Yeah.
As a kid, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
That was a callback, wasn't it?
That was.
And I caught it.
I do that from time to time.
Power armor or mech suit? I'd have to go mech suit, but power armor's cool too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're talking like Iron Man power armor, you're talking about like Fallout power armor.
Either way, I think a mech suit has more possibility. Couldn't you even argue that in a way Iron Man's power armor is the mech suit?
Yeah.
I mean, with all it can do.
Chatmort says my foot is cramping. Well, you need to stop kicking so much ass.
There you go.
Oh.
Eat some bananas, lady. Smug Chuckles asks, Motley Crue or Nirvana? Hands down, Motley Crue.
Oh, God. I am such a child of the 90s.
I will kick you. Don't you say it.
All right.
You can say it.
Okay. Alice in Chains.
No, I'm not a fan of Nirvana. Never was. I can't believe my whole generation grabbed onto Smells Like Teen Spirit, which is among the worst songs ever made.
I don't like that particular song. There are songs of theirs that I really do like, though.
I like All Apologies. The acoustic version is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But most of their stuff is just noise. Where Motley Crue, man, they have some great songs, man. Smoking in the boys' room. Ah, classic. Yeah. Anyway, of you three, who's the craziest? Define crazy.
Monkey's probably the most reckless, I would think. I mean, in relative terms, Satsu and I are pretty conservative, but throughout Monkey's life, he's been the most sort of like devil may care.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, in relative terms, I'm probably the most like boring of the three, I think, as far as like risk.
Really, I would have said Satsu.
Really?
Yeah, because no offense, Satsu, but like you have your Dom thing, and Satsu is just like Satsu's white bread.
I am very yeah, I can agree with that.
I guess if you call BDSM a crazy thing, I don't really call it a sign of craziness, but
it's certainly more interesting than.
Yeah, I meant as interesting.
Oh, well, if you're talking about like sort of like interesting or eclectic stuff, I suppose maybe.
Thank you, Esith. Finally have some money to spare after buying a new coat and a new bra. It is time to spend some on Monkey. Enjoy, darling. Thank you so much.
Oh, darling. And I imagine in a British accent since she paid in pounds.
Jean-Pierre, the answer is yes.
Hang on. What's the bra look like?
Yeah, what color? Is it frilly?
Is it nippleless?
Is it chartreuse?
Let's see. What is your favorite thing about Nickelback? Nickelback gets a lot of hate. They really do. I like Nickelback, and I have no problem saying it. And one of the reasons I like Nickelback is because in this day and age, they're one of the few musicians that makes it onto the radio who actually play fucking instruments.
That is true. That is true.
I've never had a problem with Nickelback.
Yeah, I've never. I'm not a fan of every one of their songs, but that goes for just about any band on the planet. Some of their songs are very catchy. Some of their songs sound exactly like all their other songs. So I'm relatively indifferent about Nickelback as a band. Individual songs are another question.
As for some of their songs sounding alike, if you guys want to see something funny, take any AC/DC album and then their next one and play them back to back, and the songs will like almost match up, just the words change.
Yeah.
And they've been asked about that, and they say, you know what, it works.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like, you got some bands that like every album will be a completely different sound or whatever, or they'll completely change their style or something. But, if a band establishes a fan base and they've got a style that works for them and it works for their fans and their bottom line,
holy shit,
why change?
I don't know if I'm supposed to read this one out or not, but I got another donation. Buy a damn fridge, Monkey, and it was also another very large one. Holy shit, you guys!
Wow, you got another one on our super chat.
Wow, thank you, Michael. Well, that's what made me look over to this other ones, because I sometimes forget to check Streamlabs, and then I get a super chat and it reminds me to look over there. Thank you, Michael. Monkey made me like Nickelback. Well played, sir. Look, some of their stuff is actually really good. A lot of their stuff that doesn't get airplay is really good.
Yeah.
And usually I'm not like that with a band. I'll buy a CD and it's like, okay, yeah, the only good songs on here were the ones that made it to the radio. And I'm not like that with them. They have a lot of songs I like on I forget which album it was, because that's who I am now. But I liked all of the songs that didn't get radio play more than any of the ones that did.
Man, Monkey, with them donations you getting, I can't, because last night I played Dead Space. You can see my mini fridge in the background, so I can't. Never mind. Never mind, guys.
I can't thank you guys enough for that, because me and Lady Monkey have talked about it many times, and it's just been something that it's had to wait. Jesus. Thank you, Smug Chuckles. That's Smugly Chuckles. Just a donation with no I don't mean to say just a donation, because I never mean it like that, but I mean with no comment. A donation with no comment. That's what I meant to say. Kind of like Scribe's customer service today.
Yeah, that was something else
wrong. And Cryptic, thank you. If you like Nickelback, you might be Brokeback. Sounds a boot right. You know what? I like Nickelback. Fuck y'all. Because I like their music.
Who doesn't like getting their change back? I mean, really.
Gee. Well, see, I went through this. You guys can make fun of bands all you want, but you didn't live through the time where if you liked Prince, you were gay. And I was a teen during that time. And even then, I was like, fuck you. I like the music. I don't care.
Speaking of which, Tailed Features in the chat. Fucking moo goat thrapple.
Fucking
he was,
moo.
I was listening to some music while I was at work yesterday, or today. I forget what it was. Anyway, I liked a song I hadn't heard in forever. It was Sum 41. Tailed made fun of me for it. And I was like, but your people invented bagpipe music. You got nothing to stand on.
No shit.
Yeah. And he said, yeah, we invented it to scare people. And I said, mission accomplished.
Attack Alpaca asks, favorite guilty pleasure band? And I can answer this, and I don't care what you think about it. Air Supply.
Guilty pleasure band. Garth Brooks' Thunder Rolls. That's it.
Oh, such a good song.
Especially the extended version where he talks more about how the lady killed the guy. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You can find the extended version. It's not the one that's on the record. I think he did it in concert live one time, and it's great. I love a murder ballad. It's great.
Baby Metal.
Baby Metal.
Baby Metal. You know, I went and checked that out. It's actually not bad.
I know. It's fucking catchy.
But the other one, it's not a band. I like Barry Manilow. Mostly just the song Mandy.
Yeah. Oh, Tailed clarifies, we didn't actually invent bagpipes or haggis. Well, then how you're even less useful.
Oh, dude, my friend was like scrolling through my music list recently, and he was like, there are way too many Celine Dion songs.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Have you seen the video for the Celine Dion song?
Fuck you, dude.
Deadpool 2?
No.
Oh, yes.
For
I have.
Ashes.
That was awesome.
Is so good. And then somebody took that song and they put it to scenes from Infinity War, and it made it so much better. I'll try to find that and post that. That was great.
Kayra, you just made me very sad. She said, what is Air Supply?
What is Air Supply? What?
Okay, when I was in my tween and early teen years, Air Supply was how you got really close to a girl and got to feel her up.
All right, so I'm posting the link to the video there, and I'll post it on YouTube or Twitter as well. But the song that's hilarious with Deadpool is just way too dramatically appropriate when put next to Infinity War clips.
Attack Alpaca says, same went for Elton John. I've always liked him, but kept that to myself when I was a teenager. This is one of those things about I've never cared what people think about what I like. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to. But yeah, I love Sir Elton. Oh my God. And it makes me so happy. Not only that Little Butt loves Elton John, but that she knows who he is when he comes on.
Oh yeah.
Go, that's Elton John. Like, yes, it is, sweetie. Let's sing. Although the other day I sang to her and I was singing your song because that's the one she's always loved me to sing to her. And because we were laying down and it was nap time and we were watching some TV and she was kind of rolling around. I said, you want me to sing to you? She goes, yeah.
Oh.
And so I started singing that to her. She goes, no, stop. I was like, what? She goes, the other song. I'm like, what song? And she goes, the Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star song. I'm like, oh, okay. Which is what grandma sings to her all the time.
I see.
What else do we have? Sorry, guys. I know there have been questions I've been missing as we've Prospero, I'm all out of love. That's a great one, but so many great Air Supply's greatest hits. That's what you put on. We would go dance, and it's actually how I learned the joys of a woman in a very soft sweater, or at this time a 13-year-old girl in a soft sweater.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
If anybody's curious about the link that I shared, it is more Resident Evil 2 action. So if you're pumped about the game, there's new footage out. And they got footage of the lickers on there, which I've been waiting to see, and they look fucking hideous. So yeah, that should be awesome.
Sean Pierre says, I secretly liked Conway Twitty. There's no reason to secretly like
Conway
Dude,
Twitty.
Family Guy got me hooked on Conway Twitty.
What I want to say to you. I love Conway, man. I grew up on him. And
what about Engelbert Humperdinck?
No, ooh. Conway Twitty was a stud in the country music world, man. Like women were dropping panties for him like he was in the Beatles. And he has some really great songs. And if you are a male and your dad has passed away, That's My Job will make you cry all night long. Let's see. TOS bagpipes. What? Oh, TOS says bagpipes are cool. I like bagpipes. I do.
Yeah.
If they're played right.
Yeah.
Hello, Darling. Oh, yeah, it's a good one. Conway is awesome, man. If you don't know who Conway Twitty is, you need to go listen to him. Elton John is less gay than Nickelback. Maybe, but they both play good music. I want to see the Elton John biopic. I also want to see the Queen one that's coming out. I don't normally care about their lives, but when you have something like the life of Freddie Mercury or Sir Elton John, I mean, their lives are fucking fascinating. They live some weird times, man. I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner. Oh, good song. That's another one we used to slow dance to in the way little white kids do. Anyway, guys.
In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel.
Oh, yes. So many good ones. So if you're a 13-year-old boy, throw that on and dance with a girl in a sweater. Don't feel her up without her permission.
Yeah, well.
And on that note, guys, it's 11, which is both sad and happy for me because it's sad because this is ending and I enjoy doing this, as you might have noticed by how much I've been streaming lately. And it's happy because we're going to go play 7 Days to Die over on 2 Cents Plus, which is always a great time. You can join us, follow us in our Discords if you want to play with us, or just come watch us on 2 Cents Plus if you just want to laugh along. Chat, I know I say this every night, but seriously, with those one donations, I cannot thank you guys enough for all of the donations. I can't explain to you how much they help, but I am forever in your debt. And to everyone else who just comes by and watches, that is also very important to what we do here. And you might not feel like it, but it really is, because without our audience, it's just us three assholes talking, and that gets old after a while. Thank you guys for joining us. Seriously, best audience on YouTube, and I there's just no denying it. Scribe, Satsu, a pleasure as always.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, your lives make us sad. We will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. These ribs were delicious. Fucking be asleep during this stream.
Today's secret word is these fucking ribs were delicious.